What's good, everybody? Welcome, y'all. Come through. I'm calling us the Amazon Bros. That's good stuff. There you go. Woo-hoo. Let's go, everybody. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. All right, let's see. It's only us on there. Hey,
all right, that's what happens. We're not on Amazon. We're on YouTube. That's what happens.
I was like, do I need to tell Clubhouse to shut it down and come over?
There you go. What's up with everybody? Oh, I'm on the wrong. Ma. There you go.
Hey, I need that graphic, man. I need that graphic.
The follow one?
Yeah. I need that little, like, it's over here.
Let's say here. Follow here. Yeah, and I added that. I just put it together. I'm still trying to put together my imagery because I was watching your live today, Chris, and I was just like, maybe I should really kind of do it up a little bit more than what is happening here. I gotta take this out.
Don't worry, guys. We're professionals. We do this for a living.
Yes, we do this for a living. This is what they call. You might get hurt if you try to do it on your own. So anyhow, so I was watching you and I had overlay, and I know the Dealcasters.live brothers actually
got the name right today.
I did. I'm getting it. I mean, 5 years later, and I finally got it. But I know that you guys do overlays on your lives, which is fantastic, and I just kind of go as simple as I can make it, but I think there's a way for me to make it a little bit easier for my life. So I think I'm gonna.
Chris Stone uses Final Cut Pro, and is creating GIFs, and then they are transparent enough that we can put it over us without us disappearing. The only challenge you run into is file size. It might work better because you're using Ecamm, but we use StreamYard. That's a little bit of a limitation. Right now, it can't be more than 3 megabytes. Okay. But I haven't tried that with Ecamm yet. But we may play around with that some when we do just the two of us on a show.
Like a video overlay? Is that what you're saying?
It's actually a GIF overlay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's a little less. I think it's a little less tasking on your machine than if it would be a video, because I think it's treated differently.
Right.
Or at least the machine sees it differently. But
Yep.
Anyway, gentlemen, how your week been?
It's been great. Good, I can't believe that. I guess since about 2:00, I had a little bit of a break. I know Chris G didn't, but we've been on the club talking to Amazon Live with some amazing people. We met Allison and Catherine. You need to get some of them on here at some point, because I think they got some knowledge to share with the crowd. So that was a lot of fun.
That was fantastic. Yeah. I know I went on the earlier Clubhouse with Monte, but I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't get the invitation for the after party, but that's always
because you were live streaming. Didn't you live stream at 3?
Oh, did he live stream during the actual Amazon Live?
No, I did not, y'all.
Yeah.
I did not. No, I did not.
Yeah, bro. There was an actual Amazon Live webinar. And I was like, yo, Lim's probably live streaming right now.
Well, it was 3 p.m., man. I couldn't wait. I couldn't let the masses all 3 of them waiting.
Take it back. Was it 3 or 2?
It was at 2. It was 2 to 3.
2.
It was
and
2
then we got a Clubhouse from 3 to 5.
Yep.
Then here we are talking about Amazon Live again, guys. Welcome.
That's right.
We are pumped. We are crazy, either crazy or pumped.
And I actually got interviewed this morning by StreamYard Tech Talks. They're talking about Amazon Live, showing people how to actually set up their live. I did a little, inception. I pulled up the Ecamm virtual cam and shared the phone and showed people in the app how you set the show up. And
That's what's up.
there's a lot, but it's funny, right? Just like the conversation we had earlier today on Clubhouse. What's Amazon Live? Never heard.
Yeah, no, hardly anybody.
Tons of people.
I think
Tons of
I will
people.
have to
Never heard
have
of
Chris G though say Ecamm Live, say it 3 times fast.
Not until you can use Ecamm Live on Amazon Live. Just for the
I
record.
did. I do. That's what I use.
Are you there now?
I do,
I thought
yeah.
you were still like having to
No,
like go
no,
through
no, no,
Restream
no.
and
You
all
know what?
this other stuff.
There was a hack. The 720 by 25 is the hack because
Okay.
Amazon doesn't seem to want to pick it up at the 1080 30
not
type of
at all.
situation.
I put that in the chat today. I don't know if they paid attention to it on the live stream. It's like, when are you going to let us go 1080?
I saw that.
Because what's funny is, and this is what makes me feel bad. Like right now, we look marvelous, and even when we're on Amazon Live on the computer, we look marvelous. But when I go watch myself on the TV, on the shopping app, I'm like, I need a new camera because that 720p does not look good on TV. I'm sorry.
Bro.
Oh, yeah, because they're thinking that pretty much the broadcast is situated for a phone, or even maybe at best a laptop or a computer screen. They're
But
not
even-
thinking.
But even that, when you think about it, right? Most of our computers are you probably got a 1080 or better monitor. I mean, 4K monitors. So
Nope.
why would
you
you
fancy, man? I got a 720.
Well, I've got the iMac. I think is at least 1080, and actually, I just bought the monitor. I got it can do 4K, and it was under $300. It's a Lenovo, but yeah, I mean, you gotta keep right. I gotta keep up with you guys. That's not easy.
Yeah, well, we got to keep up with Chris. He's the one with the brand deals.
Hey, man. I just got to look the part, man. I just got to look the part.
That's
But
right.
actually, I feel terrible because today was my first time really well, I shouldn't feel that bad because it's my first time seeing anybody's Amazon Live. Chris, you're the
Oh, really?
first. You're the first one I've ever watched.
I broke you in?
The only one. I was a virgin until.
She went really far, really fast, guys.
I know. Sorry.
You mean you haven't watched Dealcasters live?
And I've been trying. That's why I think with the text messaging, I was like, "Yo, I need to have these guys just tell me they're live because there's so many things happening. Unless I get a some type of information that you guys are going live, there's nothing." And I mean, Jack kind of mentioned it today on the webinar, no, about getting pinged or what have you or notified that the favorite sellers are on live. But
you know what? I follow you guys and I never get notified.
Me neither.
yeah,
I've turned
I-
on my
and I-
notifications in the thing, too.
Yeah, and I don't have anything that's preventing Amazon notifications. And Chris Stone has it on as well, and once in a while he'll get a notification. It's never consistent. So
Really.
for what that's worth, I think that that's why you got to be using your other channels and hope that people are doing it. But on the flip side, we did, I know we're going to talk about holiday stuff. We went live Saturday about 1:00. We really didn't do much advanced like advertising. It was about, show your techie some love was our theme. And, we had, 1,400 views without
What?
advertising. So you don't need to advertise. There are people already there shopping.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're trying to draw in your social media followers to come watch you so that maybe then they'll hit the follow button. Which would
I
be
have
nice.
now. I have the thing is that for what it's worth, I do have at least one dude that comes and shows up every time I go live, who is actually part of my memes community.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and he comes on live and he interacts with me and we joke and I laugh and he cuts up jokes, and I've never met this dude apart from actually I never met him on Memes for Togs page, I only really got acquainted with him when he hopped on Amazon because I advertised it on my socials that I was hopping on, and he got on, and he was like, now almost like every time I show up, he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's always new people for me, man. I don't really like, maybe for a couple, like if I go live a couple days in a row, then I may get a couple of the same people. But like once I miss that one day, like the next time, it's a whole new group of people. Like, because I've been on this live stream challenge, like I'm doing 28 days straight, Amazon Live this month, and like now I'm actually getting consistent people.
How are you seeing? Are you going at the same time every day, Chris?
Every day except for today. Like today messed me up. I was doing like 2
Chris
p.m.
says we got stalkers.
You got stalkers. That's hilarious. Yeah. I'm trying to go at the same time, but
how have you seen that affect your numbers? Have you seen like a bump up in the views and the follows by doing that, or has it been kind of about the same?
It's been about the same, man. I average I was like looking at followers. I only get like 3 to 5 new followers. But viewers, man, because you're looking at viewers and it's like that thing will jump up to 50, but then it'll be like 3 people talking to you in the chat. I mean, which is fine. Like I have conversations with them, and next thing I look up, it's an hour gone. I'm like, man, do I stay on or just?
Yeah, that was today. That was today. There was like 45 people almost when you dropped off, though.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. That's like, because you're like, are these like real? Like, what do I do? I just want them to.
Are they just like the less than a minute viewers? Like, what's this?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, and talk about that. How does that translate? Is there a way for us to kind of know it on a algorithmic type of way as to what's happening in those viewership?
Well, I will say this. We were talking about this earlier today, and I don't know if this was an anomaly, but Chris Stone and I had Ryan Stanley on last week, and we probably had about 8 books in our carousel, and I think like the swag that we have. And when the show was over, we had about 800 or so live viewers. But what was weird is we noticed, because after the fact, we were just kind of talking after we had stopped going live, and the live stream was still playing on the product pages for a while. Like, we don't know how long, even though we had stopped. Like if I went and looked at the product page, did a refresh, it was still there. Next day, maybe 2 days later, we had 9,000 views on that episode. And 5 times the clicks. So I don't know. I always thought that it kind of stopped.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering if it's a product that's not getting a lot of love, so to speak, that they're letting the live stream stay out there a little bit longer. But then I actually went and looked at yours, Lem, because you had been on that same day. And I think you were talking about like maybe the MacBook or something. But somebody else had already come on and was talking about it. So your live stream wasn't appearing on there, even though you had been on not that long before us. So I think there could be something to, if you hit on a unique product, that you may get a little bit more traction.
Is it possible that you kind of get bumped when a newer live stream kind of comes on and talks about it?
Exactly.
And if there is no new live stream talking about it, you just kind of stay on that product page for however long?
That's what we're wondering, because that, like I said, that was all books specifically. But a lot of people, right? You're going to have a lot of people start talking about the same camera, the same microphones. Books maybe aren't always so popular, but they haven't come out and said that. I didn't ask the question today, but I think that's worth experimenting with and kind of checking, like, okay, I know I'm going to pick a kind of maybe an off the wall product that I still like, and then maybe check a couple hours later and see if that live stream's still there.
You know what? That's interesting, because my photographer that was guest with me today, actually, and I think I mentioned it to Chris or somebody, that his live with me clocked in almost 10 grand worth of Amazon sales. And I was like, okay, obviously the thought is, can I duplicate this, right? How can I duplicate it? And there are several things. Number one, he was talking about some products that are less expensive than most of my guests. Like my guests, their bodies start at like $2,500, because these are pros. And he's a pro, but he's using like a kit lens, a kit camera. So it's like a D70 or something like that for Canon, and it's only about maybe $800 with a lens, and maybe about $1,200. And my other photographers are talking about $5,000, lens and body combination. So that's one thing. And then another thing is that our thumbnail has a one of his models there, which was very she didn't even have a bra on. She had it was like taped. Her nipples were taped, if we can say that here. So she was like loosely dressed, not loosely, but she was dressed like a model, like a boudoir model, right?
Okay.
So that was a thumbnail. Now, obviously, I did not. In the thumbnail, I made sure that certain parts of her body were hidden. But you could tell that she wasn't wearing a regular top. So I'm not sure if that was the draw, but because now that you're talking about it, he did speak about some items that many photographers don't talk about, and that many people don't talk about. He talked about a pop-up tent. He talked about some multi-switch, like a Swiss Army knife type of tools, And so these products don't, and so maybe it's possible that we stayed on people's radar, on Amazon's radar, because he spoke about items that rarely get spoken about.
As long as they were in your carousel, I absolutely think that's a possibility.
Hey, Ms. Dreeks, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
And I think the other thing too that I was a little surprised about, because I really hadn't played with it as much now that I had the second monitor, is like even though I had one product highlighted in the carousel, every product that was in the carousel, the live stream was playing on, even though we weren't talking about it. Mm-hmm. So I thought before I had to have it highlighted for it to show up. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. But is now, Chris G, is that limited to the first 10? Or will it play on?
I don't think so, because I've been on pages of stuff that I happened to look at because somebody asked. It wasn't even in my carousel, but it was similar. So like if I'm talking about PCs, it'd be another gaming PC that's not in my carousel, and I just look it up because somebody asked, and I would be on that page. What I did notice though is, I don't know if it's a follower count thing or what, but there are streamers on there that I just know are bigger than me, that've been there before me. They get more live viewers. If they're on, I don't show up on the page, even if I come on after. So I wasn't bumping them off. Once they left, I would show up. Because stuff like the Elgato Stream Deck or the capture card like that. Every streamer, gamer, whoever, electronic person will just have it. So a lot of times that's one of the things I noticed. So sometimes I'll like kick myself when I see somebody else go live, when I'm like, I see the notification. Like,
because you're like, that's the product I was going to talk about. It's not going to get looked at. Yes.
It's like, I already know what you're talking about. Darn it.
Yeah, that's true. Very true.
Yeah.
There's so many things I'm learning even now as we speak. Like we were talking about it, for those of you that are watching us, we were actually talking about whether or not we should do this on a weekly basis. And just this conversation lets me know, hey, you know what? There's value in conversing about Amazon Live on a weekly basis, because who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what we're going to come up? Who knows what we're thinking about? And only this kind of conversation would allow for us to kind of volley ideas and lets us know.
Well, and I think what I like about this is, right, we're building, or I don't know if we're building, but we're all part of a community. That's a better way to put it. Yeah. We're all part of this community of Amazon creators, and we're all getting to know each other, because right now there's not really, not that Amazon has a problem with us talking to each other, but they haven't put something out that allows us to. So, Chris and Monty, and I think Melody, right? That's the three of you guys they started the Facebook group. That's how we've all gotten to know each other better. And we're all kind of learning from each other, because there's things that we didn't realize or didn't know. And then you find out, people that have thousands of followers on YouTube still can't get their YouTube people to come over and follow them on Amazon.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a fascinating dynamic. Or like I said today, I mean, there were a lot of viewers on the StreamYard channel, the tech talk that they do weekly, but yet most of them like, Amazon what? And
Yeah.
I get that a lot. And so Chris Williams was talking about the fact, right? Amazon hasn't run a commercial like, hey, check out our live streams.
Right.
Um, and that may be intentional. We don't know how many creators there are, right? I think, Chris G, I think you're right. I think there's maybe 1,000. And I know a couple people that got approved. They've maybe done it a couple times, and maybe because they haven't seen the numbers, they've stopped.
Yeah.
Right. They haven't been on, and and it's kind of like you gotta keep at it with this platform if you want to make it worth your while. And
yeah, it's just like anything, because the algorithm begins to push you out just because you're always constantly there. They're kind of pushing all the older ones down as you keep on coming on. Just like any algorithm. I just realized that today because my daughter's like, Dad, we haven't had a video up on YouTube for 9 years. And she's only 6, And I started thinking, why is that important? It's because the algorithm, every time you pump up, it's bumped down whatever was older and you come up. So you're constantly on the up. So here's the same thing with Amazon. And I'm thinking about maybe even just coming in, maybe 30 minutes, right? I think, Chris, you and I talked about it a little bit, kind of just even letting it, like, not even live, not even on.
Yeah.
Just turning it on and just showcasing me working behind or whatever, not necessarily even just have a carousel full of stuff and just people coming on, because I think your name, the recognition of you coming on constantly will just push the older ones down. And since you're bringing new product or new content every day, like any algorithm, you'll be at the top.
Yeah. I mean, that's good, man. Cause I can't remember whose page it is, but he literally was on there editing a video, and then his stream was about him rendering the video. And so he was sitting there, and so he would answer questions if you asked, but he wasn't like, like how some of us were like you guys are actually doing conversation.
Right.
You guys are actually doing an interview. Me, like I'm actively showing something. He was just like, "Yep, I'm here. This is what we're doing. We're rendering. If you got questions, drop them."
We have Miss Dreeks. She's chilling with us here, and thank you for your service. We honor your effort and your work and your sacrifice. And she says, also, I have military education community and would love to launch an Amazon live show. I need you to guide me through the process. Well, we do have our own soldier here right in the middle of us, and we honor his service.
I'm not a soldier.
Oh,
I was a Marine. I am a Marine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta get that. She's like,
don't make me
come through because he's a Marine. He'll come through the screen, and I
soldier. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?
Offensive.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry,
sir.
Anything wrong with soldiers?
I'm sorry,
all right.
sir.
I'm surprised he didn't just jump off the stream on you, man. What are you doing with yourself?
Miss Dreeks
I'll go grab my sword.
Miss Dreeks is all dying right now. She is cracking up because, I mean, I don't know about the community, but I'm sure I know enough. I know enough that I messed up there.
You messed up, man.
That's like calling. That's worse than calling me deal busters.
You messed up, soldier.
See, there he goes. There he goes.
I'm gonna have to kill you.
The truth.
Yeah, that's
right. On that wall.
So shame on me. She said, I missed the intro. Shame on me. No, don't worry about that. But maybe Jim, you could give her the quick. I don't know what level of intro she is in, Miss Streaks, if you can let us know. But Jim will break down for us what exactly you may be needing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what her question is, but I'd be happy if she just kind of typed in what she's looking for. And
she says here, let me put it back up.
I saw where she said she has a military education community and watched the launch an Amazon live show. I wanted to get guided through the process. I think we can definitely point you. I will just say, that a guy that's got a great video out there about how to get approved is Ross Brand. He put a video out like how to become an Amazon Live creator, and once you go through that process, I mean, we can definitely help you. It's really becoming an Amazon associate first. Once you get that approval, which is automatic, then you apply for the influencer program, but that's going to be based on your social media followings. Like you need to have a strong following on one platform, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I don't even really like to say Facebook because most people think it's their Facebook friends. No, I've heard public group, but I really think it's business pages is what they're looking at more. And then, but that would definitely, Ms. Dreeks, Amazon Live would definitely allow you to do that, to have the interactivity. I know we bring guests on the show that I do. I know Lem does as well. Chris, have you brought any guests on yet? Or
I have not, man. I've been a solo show.
Chris
so
is
far.
like, I am too good for guests. Are you kidding me? I can handle this on my own. I could bring the whole entire Amazon Live down to its knees all by myself.
I was the only child for a long time. I learned how to talk to myself. I was like, I can talk to myself for an hour? I got this.
Yeah. My mom says I used to have an invisible friend because I was the oldest, and so, but for a while, I had no one to talk to either. So, I'm with you. I'm with you there.
David, welcome, my friend. The Digital Buddha is in the house.
What's up, man?
Yes, my friend and business partner. Thank you for saying hello. Actually, this is it. But yeah, so Miss Streaks, if you follow what Jim just said, I think that'll get you started. So we don't know exactly where you're at in your live streaming journey and in your influencer journey, but the live streaming for Amazon, just to echo what our Marine.
I'm glad you got it right that time.
I felt my tongue getting cut off as I began to say the S word. Marine. I'm sorry. Our Marine here, is suggesting is that you actually have to be an influencer. So you'd have to have some influence in. What are we talking about? Maybe 1,000 or more followers, gentlemen.
I've seen with YouTube 2,000 subscribers. Twitter, I've seen 5,000 or more. Instagram, I don't know. I've heard a couple thousand. I'm not positive on that, and I don't know anyone off of Facebook that's gotten approved personally.
Yeah, I'm about to say I did Instagram, and I only had I had about 2,500 at the time, maybe. But I also did it early, so
we were talking about that on the call too. As we do wonder, are they going to keep raising the bar to get in, right? Mm-hmm. Like, now you got to have more followers in order to get approved. So that's they don't tell us those things. I mean, they threw followers on us for A-list as it was. So you just never know. I think sometimes it's a moving target, in our opinion. I couldn't tell you what it is.
Man, let me ask you a question for clarification, because I was also wondering. So, if you're already an associate,
she said she's an influencer already.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Is there a follower count after you're an associate, and then you apply in the Amazon Live app? Is there another follower count to?
No, because I don't. I maybe I never knew it, but I don't think you get the storefront until you become an influencer. Like you have your profile and people can follow your profile, but you don't get to do the idea list and all that, I think, until you become a part of the influencer program. Then the live is kind of like optional, right? You don't have to go live, but you can. And why wouldn't you? So if Ms. Dreek says she's already an influencer in there, then she's ready to go.
Yeah, she's just telling me that she's going on Ecamm. She's gonna try it out tonight, and she's wanting me to go live with her. Yeah, so I normally, so for me, when somebody hit me up asking for any questions, I always bring them live, so that way, it's not a one-to-one necessarily benefit. It goes for everybody, and it's a good way for me to keep those one-on-ones or keep those tutorials for free, because I'm like, you know what, at least let's go on my live, and so we can share with everybody else, and I don't have to or put like consultation type of fees for a one-on-one conversation. But yeah, I love it. But let's talk a little bit, and we're 40 minutes into the hour, and I have to do a hard stop at 6. That's what we always said, Clubhouse, right? Hard stop at 6. 3 hours later. 3
Yeah, my
hours
room's still going, man.
3
Might have-
hours
might go
later,
back,
the
who
room is
knows?
still going. Let's talk about kind of our approach to Valentine's Day or any type of holiday, which is what this live is all about, that we're trying to accomplish, and that is to possibly help people kind of approach what would you do with the Valentine's holiday that is here in front of us. How would you approach the sales method or even the carousel or the item the way you choose?
Yeah, so what we did is we came up with the concept of show your techie some love, because Chris Stone and I like to talk about tech gear, live streaming gear, and so sometimes you got to put yourselves in the shoes of the shopper, and so it's like, well, what would I get my significant other? Maybe I want to get them. We were talking about Garmin watches, we were talking about Fitbits, we were talking about some of the Alexa type devices that aren't too expensive, but some, because you're right, at some point, flowers and candy and that stuff get old. So do something a little different. So we looked at it from that perspective of like, or maybe, say for an example, your loved one wanted to start a podcast. Like, okay, if here's what they need, right? They need a microphone, they need this or that. And I think this kind of goes back to what you talked about earlier, Lem, is sometimes we have to think they're not ready to buy that high ticket item. So give them kind of that step, like, okay, here, you can get this, this mic for $70. You don't need to go get a Shure, SM7B and spend $400. And so I think if you approach it from that way, make it fun, demonstrate the products and how they work, that's one thing. But here's the other thing you got to really think about. You got to do it. Like, if you're going to go live for Valentine's Day, you ain't got much more time, or it's not going to get there in time. So with holidays, you need to think in advance.
Yeah.
And so that's why we actually went live on Saturday, this past Saturday.
How
because
far
we wanted
advance?
to get
How far advance, James? Like Mother's Day is coming around the corner. Should I start doing
well,
live streams on Mother's Day?
Even though Amazon can sometimes get you stuff there in a day, you don't want to put the shopper in that predicament. Give them, it's almost like you're doing them a favor by reminding them, hey, this is coming up. You might want to think about, here's some things to get, because then remember, you can repurpose these shows and get people to go back and watch them later. Like, hey, did you not remember it was Valentine's Day? We just did a show and we talked about this specific item, right? Take that clip out, put it on your other social, and get people back to the shows. I think that's kind of how I look like it. Now, when it comes to some of these things like, Black Friday, these Prime days, we don't even necessarily know what's going to be on sale. You almost could you just need to go live and you'll be successful.
True that. With your phone in your hand, just add up. That's on sale. All right, let me add this to the carousel real quick. Man, that's so good.
What are you doing, Chris?
Man, I wish I'd have thought ahead. Like, honestly, like he just said, I wish I would have thought ahead. I did one last week where I called myself, but I didn't plan it out very well. But I'm trying to, like you said, I'm looking at the calendar now, trying to figure out what holidays could fit in. Like Mother's Day probably isn't a good one for me per se, just because I talk more tech, streaming, gaming. But
I was gonna say, what's going on with your mom?
Yo,
are you trying to be sexist in my show, man?
I'm not. Look, I said, in theory.
This is us getting in trouble. I got in trouble for Soldier, and you get in trouble for trying to tell mothers can't.
I'm not
can't use
saying
tech.
that mothers can't be. You know what? Now that you said that, I'm gonna just do a whole show on it. What your mama needs to start gaming, right?
Right. Yeah. Mom gamers
great.
are out there.
Wow, that's good.
The number of women playing video games and live streaming increases all the time. So maybe that becomes your first guest, Chris G, is bring one of these people on a female like maybe Allison, who we met earlier, and she brings her community to your show, and you guys talk about some of that tech gear. That's what I would think. Here's the other thing to think about, right? If it happens, right? Baseball season's coming up. Maybe you talk about things for the sports fan, like tech sports fan stuff. I mean, anytime something changes, right? March Madness, if it goes
that's
on,
good. Yeah.
college basketball. So it's kind of like think of things that can be exciting that people are talking about. I mean, Mitch Jackson likes to call it newsjacking, but why not, right? Make it, if it can be related to it. People are going to watch the games. Well, maybe they can watch them on an Echo show, or they can get a Fire Stick and watch the game anywhere. So those are the sort of things that, it's kind of like thinking outside the box. I mean, with cameras, right? With Easter coming up, like, well, maybe you want to take pictures of your family and don't want to use your smartphone. Here's some entry-level cameras to get your kids excited about taking pictures the old-fashioned way, if you want to call it that. So the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to Dealcasters.live. This is marketing the Marine way. He just gave it all to you right there. I don't know. Just drop the mic. I'm gonna just go home, Lim. Like, you just drop me off the call.
Well, we do. We're almost done anyway, so might as well finish right now.
I'm over here,
The
here writing the notes.
The fire is done. It's over. Actually, I do have a fire overlay. I gotta find it now. Now that you mentioned it, I'm gonna be like, Marine.
Right. Just
That's right.
nothing. I got nothing.
If Doc hears, or even my my uncle-in-law, who's also a Marine, a non-active Marine, is that what they call it? Not because it's never X, because then you'll be axed.
That's right. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Always a Marine. So a non-active
Trust
Marine.
me, when people do bad stuff in the news, it's like the first thing they say. Former Marine does this. I mean, yeah. Remember, Lee Harvey Oswald was a Marine.
Are you threatening?
Oh, I'm just saying. That's why I'm proud of it, right?
I'm like, are we taking credit?
Are you taking credit, or are you threatening?
No, I'm just saying. That's what we have to deal with, right?
That's how they're identified. Got it.
That's how they're identified, right?
I get it.
Got
We're
it.
just messing around, obviously.
As we used to say, that one I probably can't say it because we'll get banned. Wipes out 9 attaboys.
Man, if Doc ever hears that, he will reprimand me to no end.
That's funny.
And my uncle, my wife's uncle, that is, who was a special service forces guy. Yeah, I will not allow him to see this video because
man, I wish I was a great meme artist like yourself, man. I could just make a really good one and drop it in the group. Just be like, hey Lim. Hey, look. Soldier or Marine?
Oh, you know what? That's funny one. The funny one is when Batman slaps Robin. Would be perfect. We'd be like,
that would be
like Jim. Lemuel's like, Jim is like, that's former Marine. That's
Marine.
Non-active Marine. You heard?
Oh man.
Hey, they still pay me on the first of the month, right? Because I'm retired.
Hey.
So if the stuff goes south, I might get called back and have to go back to my old job. I mean, I hope that never happens. But
oh man, thank you,
bro.
Miss Treeks. She is doing her part to bring this live stream into the YouTube consciousness.
So you guys, I mean, what are you guys going to do for Sunday? Do you got any plans? Any ideas? I mean, Lem, you went live today.
Yep.
Chris G, you're going live every day.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
I'm actually hard scheduled, but I have spoken with another photographer who actually, I need to hit her up soon. We might go live sometime this week on an evening. I normally go and stream on Amazon twice a week, but I may end up streaming maybe 3-4 more times. I know I do have Junaid coming this Thursday at 3 p.m. and we're gonna chat it up about more of live streaming things. Like
I'm afraid to watch because every time I'm around him, I buy something.
That's funny.
He's gonna like, I'll buy my teleprompter or something that I need next, because that's what Junaid does. It's like, dang. And
So
he's
he-
actually got it. He's actually on Amazon Live now. I don't know if he's had his show yet.
He
but
is.
got
I mean,
approved.
he's hitting me up. He's trying to tell me what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm I'm kind of like helping him, direct him in some way, shape, or form as to what he would do. But yeah, I mean, I watch his live, like regular lives on Ecamm, the community, and also in the VIP. And boo, that's legit. I mean, the dude's got over and under every stuff that went. Actually, I bought from him the monitor that I'm using for my teleprompter. Because my teleprompter monitor that I've been using cannot flip. And so I've been like reading backwards, and I was starting to learn how to speak, how to read Hebrew and Chinese. I was like left and right, or right and left. And then I saw, because I'd asked him about it, but he never linked it. And when I went to follow his page, which everybody, for those of us that are here, can you please follow these gentlemen on Amazon? You could go dealcasters.live for Jim and Chris Stone, and their Amazon Live will come up with dealcasters.live. Chris P. Giles.
Giles.
One.
Giles. Chris P. Giles 1. Is actually the name for his Amazon. Please follow him, because we are trying to get 20,000. 20,000. Might as well be. It feels like that.
I'll take 20,000.
It feels like
20,000. Let's go.
2,000 volunteers to follow us. Because we're looking to up level. I've gained, since the last conversation here, gentlemen, I've gained about 10 followers for us.
Nice.
On my thing.
Nice.
And
Got a couple new ones today from the community, so that was nice. Get it, because some of the folks that we met in the in the webinar, of course, that whole thing, trying to figure out like, where did these people go, because you can't even like connect easy even in the chat. It's like, I think I followed the right person on Instagram, but
yeah, man,
they're gonna say, who's that person?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hey, quick.
go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, shameless plug, man. You joined the group because Thursday there's another webinar, another Amazon Live webinar on Amazon Live, so you can see, one, how it works, but two, the crew will be there answering questions, and then we're gonna host another after party in Clubhouse. I just got the message over here; they just shut down the other one after 3 hours of.
Monte just hopped in.
I see Monte and
Monte just hopped in. He said he's got 10,000 followers on Clubhouse. Whoop!
But could you get any of them to go over to Amazon and follow you there?
That's the question.
That's funny. No, none of them. None of them are going there.
Maybe one. Maybe one.
We're almost done, Miss Streaks. Hang in there. We got 6 minutes. No, you could go. I understand. We thank you for hanging out with us and dropping it here on the chat to let YouTube know that this live stream is highly important and valuable.
Highly rated. Highly rated. Yes.
Yes. All three of us. Really highly rated.
Lem with the drops, and DJ Mastermind with all the latest and greatest to keep you rocking and rolling.
That's one thing that we should be like, what's up, man? How come you come in here and there's no audio, no music, no bumping? Not that we want to have a copyright strike, but.
Well, yeah, that would not be a good thing. But it is your channel.
It's your channel, man. First of all, if any time to get a copyright strike, it's now.
Yeah. I was gonna say, no, I don't want to get demonetized. Not that I'm even close to that.
That's hilarious.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
So let's think about. Have you guys looked into it? Maybe we should, about what are the highest rated holidays in Amazon.
Well, I mean, Prime Day is huge, and that's a 2-day or it was a 2-day event this year. I don't know if it is, or I should say last year. I don't know if it always is 2 days. But then, they've also, that was one of the things, right? Who knows? Maybe they'll start doing other things. But I mean, yeah, just think of the times when you would give gifts. Obviously the holidays. I mean, in a way, really, probably starting about, I would even say before Black Friday, right? Because they're all competing now, right? So I would say online sales really start to pick up in October, and that's where you almost would say fourth quarter of the year. You want to be active. Now it's kind of hard to tell, because of, but people are shopping online more than ever, and so I think it's more about figuring out what are people looking for, why are they looking, almost like coming up with your own, like maybe we should do Festivus.
Hey, look, you got to be thinking about gamer holidays.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. So when some of these big games come out, right? It's almost like a book release. You could be having a show around the new game, talking about maybe, I got one of those Oculus Quest 2s. I probably should do more with that, like video myself walking into the wall when I'm trying to play, what is it, Beat Saber?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a great point. Lots of games, camera stuff. And I think even if you look at here's the thing, look at your stats, see what's selling, and that may get you to pivot into some areas you didn't think about.
Well, I was thinking in that same vein on where can we actually, is there a way for us to know what is actually hot on Amazon
Yes.
at any given moment?
Yes. If you go to your Amazon desktop, there's the 3 bars on the left. Under trending, it has bestsellers, and it also has new releases and movers and shakers. And that's on the desktop.
Where? Amazon.com.
Right under Amazon Prime, where it says all. There's like 3 little bars.
Hold on, give me a minute. Let me see.
Giving away all my secrets, Christy.
There you go. We're giving it.
Hey, look, I have an Amazon business account, so anytime somebody tells me how to do something, I can't find it. Just for the record, my whole screen's not the same, so I can never find it.
Yeah, so scroll up a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Scroll up a little bit.
We want to see your black bar where like almost at the
bottom,
where the HTML is. Your web address.
My bad. Okay,
Yeah, up as opposed to down.
Yep,
That's okay.
Yep, I got you. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
Don't worry, guys. We're professional.
Yes.
All right, so now
do not attempt what we're trying to do.
To the left of live streams, because you're hiding it from the with the cameras, unless you can move us to the other side.
Right, hold on, here we go. We'll do it. What am I doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. There it is.
Keep going. Yeah, see the 3 bars. Hit the 3 bars.
3 bars here?
Right next to all. Like to see the.
Oh, okay.
Click that. You see right there? Those 3 bestsellers, new releases, and movers and shakers. That's where you find what's hot, what's not.
So even on a holiday, our moments, couples,
and sometimes they have the stuff that's like on sale for what do they call those, lightning deals?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they have as many of those right now. But sometimes I'll have the lightning deals, and so you can get that out there. But the problem is, depending on when you go live, I've seen it like run out before we went live. So
yeah,
but that
definitely seen that. That's funny.
But that's definitely bigger around like Prime Day, Black Friday, where they're really trying to push this stuff. And then you even have like most wished for, right? You got a bunch of different categories.
Where is this? Most
go under your bestsellers. Hit the bestsellers bar, and then if you see right there, as you go from left to right, you'll see the 4th tab over off of bestsellers. Just go up again.
Oh, here it is. Most wished for.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And then they have it by category. You don't want to sell no gift cards though. Doesn't do you any good.
How about movies and televisions? Are these available for us to make money off?
I think it depends on if they actually buy it, as opposed to like. I mean, I think you can get the bounties With but see,
Ooh,
like
that's
the,
another
like the newest,
conversation. That's another conversation. The bounties. Yeah, we're all gonna be giving it up. We're all giving it up, man.
Well,
we're
like
just
Gary
trying to
Vee
help,
says,
man.
man, I don't mind telling everything because only 1% are going to do what we say anyway, right?
That's right.
That's right.
I'm gonna go get the
That's
check.
right.
Let's go.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. It's true though, because even if you give it all up, like I told somebody, listen, my mother hands me a recipe and I cook it. We cook the same food, and who's gonna eat what? Who's gonna get more food eaten by? Bleh. Whose food is going to be eaten more? Is gonna be my mother's food. And so it doesn't matter if everybody's got the same ingredients. It's the person that's really working the ingredients that matters.
Yep.
True that.
But there you go, Lem.
Lem
Taught you
drop.
something new, right? Learn something new every day.
Yes.
Every
And it's
day.
always great to be here with you guys. I'm so glad that we've gotten connected because of the interwebs, right? That's one of the amazing things about the internet, right? I mean, I think Chris G and I originally connected on Clubhouse,
Yep.
and then came over to the Facebook group, and now here we are sharing live video together. And I think
Fantastic.
Lem, I think originally I saw you in the Let's Get Live group with Doc Rock.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I love it,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
saw you guys. I remember being on the Clubhouse room, and Chris, DJ Mastermind was there, and I'm like, who is this cat? He does not talk nothing. And then I saw him on his live today, and the man can talk. I was like,
Girl.
yo, what's going on? You're just silent. It's like selective
Man.
mutism, Chris.
Yeah, man. Hey, Clubhouse Streets. I'm just trying to get the follower game up, man. I just
right?
said, hey, that's
Yeah,
why I left my Clubhouse open just to see. Be like, hey, he's the first one. That means he
follow
started
this
it.
guy
Right?
and follow this guy. I need followers, but I want you to follow them first. How about that?
Yes, same. All right, everybody, it's 6:00. Digital Buddha just reminded us it's 6:03. I've got to go finish my daily blog, and I'll talk to you all later. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
man.
Hey, we're gonna make
Thank
this a standard for Tuesdays at 5 p.m. So you want to put this in your calendar. We're gonna be chatting up whatever new that may come up, and we'll probably talk about Thursday's webinar from Amazon Live themselves. So that's going to be fun. Gentlemen, always a pleasure to have you. Always incredible wisdom and nuggets of truth and leadings. And I appreciate your time here with us and this community.
Thanks, guys. Great to
Hey,
see
bro,
you.
thanks for having me.
Until next time, everybody, next Tuesday, we'll see you. Keep on going live. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Peace and much love.